I stand in front of my team of 15 people, my voice steady as I begin my farewell speech. For 4 years, I built this marketing agency from nothing. Then Gregory Marsh bought us out 6 months ago and has been pushing me toward the exit ever since. I am mid-sentence, thanking Sarah for her loyalty, when Gregory shoves the conference room door open. "Enough," he snaps, his face red. "We don't have time for this. Leave now." Every head turns. I smile, gather my notes, and walk out without another word. The hallway feels longer than it ever has before. My heels click against the polished floor while building security flanks me on either side. Gregory insisted on the escort, as if I might steal office supplies or sabotage the coffee machine on my way out. Behind me, I hear Sarah's footsteps hurrying to catch up. When I glance back, tears are streaming down her face. She opens her mouth to speak, but I subtly shake my head. Not here. Not now. Gregory will use anything against anyone who shows me loyalty. My office door stands open. Someone already packed half my belongings into cardboard boxes. I did not authorize this. Gregory moved fast, probably had someone boxing my things while I stood in that conference room trying to say goodbye with dignity. I pick up the framed photo of Julia and me at our grand opening 4 years ago. We looked so hopeful that day, so convinced we were building something that mattered. Julia, my best friend and business partner. She owned 40% of Catalyst Creative, the marketing agency we founded together in a cramped apartment with nothing but a laptop and a dream. We specialized in rebranding struggling local businesses, the mom and pop shops and family restaurants that bigger agencies ignored. We built our reputation one client at a time through genuine results and word of mouth. People trusted us because we cared. 8 months ago, Julia got the diagnosis: stage 4 cancer. Aggressive. The kind of news that shatters your entire world in a single doctor's appointment. Medical bills piled up faster than insurance could cover them. Experimental treatments. Specialists. Hope costs money, and Julia needed hope. She had a 10-year-old daughter to fight for. That's when Gregory Marsh appeared, a corporate investor who owned a chain of marketing firms across the Southwest. He offered to buy Julia's 40% stake for enough money to cover her treatment and secure her daughter's future. Julia cried when she told me. She felt like she was betraying everything we built, but what choice did she have? I held her hand and told her I understood. I told her the company would be fine. I believed it. I was wrong. Gregory positioned himself as a visionary leader from day one. He attended client meetings I arranged, and then presented my strategies as his own ideas. He reworked my pitches, changed a few words, and took credit when clients loved them. He told our biggest accounts that he was the real brains behind their success, that I was just good at execution. When I tried to push back professionally, he reminded me that he controlled the board now. He had the votes. I had nothing but my reputation, and he was systematically dismantling that too. Sarah appears in my doorway, hovering nervously. The security guards stand just outside, watching. She steps in and whispers urgently, "We all know what he did." The team is furious. Half of us are ready to walk out with you. I set down the photo frame and turned to her. "Sarah, listen to me carefully. Protect yourself. Stay quiet. He will destroy anyone who sides with me. I have seen him do it before at his other companies. I have heard the stories, the trail of ruined careers Gregory left behind at his previous acquisitions. Loyal employees fired for invented reasons, reputations smeared, legal threats. He is systematic about eliminating opposition." Sarah's face crumples. "This isn't right. You built this place." "I know," I say softly. "But right now, you need to keep your job. You have student loans. Please, Sarah, keep your head down." She nods reluctantly and steps back into the hallway. I finish packing my personal items while the security guards watch my every move like I am a criminal. When I walk through the main office area toward the elevator, I notice Gregory already replaced my nameplate on the corner office door with his own. The brass plate gleams under the fluorescent lights. It probably arrived yesterday, already engraved and ready to install the moment I left the building. In the elevator, I pull out my phone and see an email notification. My stomach drops. It is a message blast Gregory sent to all our clients 15 minutes ago while I was still packing my desk. The subject line reads, Leadership Transition Announcement. I open it and read, Annabelle Foster has decided to pursue other opportunities. I will personally be taking over all client relationships to ensure continuity and enhanced results. I look forward to bringing fresh vision and renewed energy to our partnership. Warm regards, Gregory Marsh, CEO. Fresh vision, renewed energy, as if everything we built together was stale and tired. As if I was the problem holding the agency back. The elevator doors open to the parking garage. I step out into the dim concrete space, keys in hand, and my phone rings. It is Tom Hendricks, my lawyer. I scheduled a call with him this morning before the goodbye speech that never happened. Annabelle, Tom's voice is tight. I need to tell you something about that operating agreement you signed 4 months ago, while Julia was declining rapidly and I was spending every spare moment at her bedside. Gregory presented me with a revised operating agreement. He said it was standard paperwork, updates required by the new investment structure. I was exhausted, emotionally shattered, and I trusted that he was being honest. I signed it without reading carefully. Tom reviewed it afterward at my request, but by then, it was too late. What about it? I ask. Though something in Tom's tone tells me I do not want to hear the answer. There was a clause buried in Section 12. If you leave the company for any reason within 2 years of Gregory's investment, you forfeit all equity. Annabelle, you own nothing. No buyout, no severance, no compensation for 4 years of building that business. He planned this from the beginning. I lean against my car, suddenly dizzy. I own nothing? Nothing, Tom confirms. I am sorry. It is airtight. He knew exactly what he was doing. I end the call and sit in my car, unable to turn the ignition. 4 years of 80-hour weeks, missed holidays, personal savings invested, relationships sacrificed, all for a company I no longer own. Gregory took it all. Julia's shares gave him control, and my signature on that operating agreement gave him the legal right to erase me completely. I sit in the grocery store parking lot for 2 hours, unable to make myself drive home. Other shoppers come and go, pushing carts full of food and household items, normal people doing normal things. I feel disconnected from all of it, like I am watching life happen through glass. Finally, I open my banking app and force myself to look at my finances. $11,342 in savings. Rent is due in 12 days. $3,000 monthly for a 1-bedroom apartment in a decent neighborhood. Car payment, $475. Student loans, $620. Credit card minimum payment, $300. I used the card to help Julia's mother pay for Emma's school supplies and groceries during the worst of Julia's treatment. It felt like the least I could do. I have no other income source. My entire professional identity is Catalyst Creative, a company I can no longer claim on my resume because Gregory will say I was forced out for poor performance. Any reference check will go through him. He controls the narrative completely. I open my laptop in the passenger seat and start searching job boards, marketing manager positions, brand strategist roles, consulting opportunities. I have the skills and experience, but my reputation is now tied to a company Gregory controls. Even if I get interviews, the first question will be why I left my own agency. What do I say? The truth sounds like bitterness. Lies will unravel during background checks. My phone buzzes with incoming calls. 3 within 10 minutes, all from clients calling my personal cell number. I gave these numbers out years ago for emergencies, back when I wanted clients to know they could reach me anytime. Now those numbers are the only connection I have left. The first call is from Patricia Downing, who owns a chain of 6 yoga studios across the city. I saved her business 18 months ago when she was on the verge of bankruptcy. We rebuilt her entire brand identity, created a social media strategy that tripled her membership, and developed a community outreach program that made her studios neighborhood fixtures. She went from losing money to profitability in 8 months. Annabelle, what is happening? Patricia's voice is sharp with concern. I just got an email from Gregory Marsh saying you left the agency. But his wording was strange. He said you abandoned your responsibilities. That does not sound like you at all. I choose my words carefully. Patricia, I am no longer with Catalyst Creative. I cannot discuss the specific circumstances, but I want you to know that I am grateful for the opportunity to work with you. Your success meant everything to me. There is a long pause. Annabelle, something is wrong here. Gregory called me an hour ago and tried to pitch me on a complete rebranding package. He used your exact strategy, the same presentation you gave me last year, word for word. He claimed it was his original idea. My chest tightens. Patricia, I cannot comment on that. You do not have to, she says. I know what I heard. Listen, if you need anything, if you need someone to verify your work, call me. I mean that. I thank her and end the call before my voice breaks. 2 more clients call with similar concerns. They sense something is off. They know Gregory is lying, but knowing and proving are 2 different things, and I have no platform to fight back from. I drive to the hospice facility where Julia has been living for the past 3 weeks. The doctor said it could be days or weeks, but not months. I need to see her, but I cannot tell her what happened. She is dying, and her final thoughts should not be burdened with guilt about selling her shares to the man who destroyed me. Julia's room is on the 2nd floor, overlooking a small garden. She is asleep when I arrive, her face pale and thin. I sit in the chair beside her bed and hold her hand. After a few minutes, her eyes flutter open. Annabelle, she whispers. You came. Of course I came, I say, forcing a smile. How are you feeling? Tired, she admits. Always tired now. Her eyes search my face. Something is wrong. I can tell. Nothing is wrong, I lie. Everything is fine. She squeezes my hand weakly. I am so sorry I had to sell to him. I did not know what else to do. The medical bills, Emma's future, I had no choice. Tears blur my vision. Julia, you did exactly the right thing. Do not apologize. You took care of your daughter. That is what matters. Promise me you will look after the company, she says. Promise me Catalyst Creative will keep helping people. I cannot promise that, so I just nod and squeeze her hand. I stay for an hour, talking about small things, memories from when we first started the agency. When Julia drifts back to sleep, I kiss her forehead and leave. In my car, I finally let myself break down. Sobs tear through me, raw and painful. I cry for Julia, for the company we built together, for the future I thought I had. I cry until my throat is raw and my eyes are swollen. My phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. I almost ignore it, but something makes me look. The message is short and brutal. You have 48 hours to sign a non-compete and non-disparagement agreement, or I will sue you for breach of fiduciary duty and theft of proprietary client information. You took client contact details with you. That is theft. Sign or face a lawsuit that will bankrupt you. Gregory. I stare at the screen, the words blurring. He is not satisfied with taking my company. He wants to ensure I can never work in marketing again. The threat is clear. Sign away my career, or he will destroy me financially with legal fees I cannot afford. The walls are closing in, and I have no idea how to escape. Tom Hendricks meets me at a diner at 7 the next morning. I barely slept, my mind racing through scenarios that all ended the same way. Me, losing everything. Tom looks as tired as I feel. His briefcase open on the booth's table, documents spread across the surface. I reviewed the non-compete Gregory sent, Tom says without preamble. It prohibits you from working in marketing, advertising, branding, or consulting within 200 miles for 5 years. 5 years? I repeat numbly. If you sign, you are effectively barred from your profession in the entire region. You would have to relocate to another state and start over in a completely different field. Tom pulls off his glasses and rubs his eyes. If you refuse to sign, Gregory will file a lawsuit claiming you stole client lists and proprietary strategies. Even if you eventually win, and that is not guaranteed, the legal fees will destroy you financially. You are looking at $50,000 to $75,000 minimum for a decent defense. I wrap my hands around my coffee cup, needing something solid to hold on to. Do I have any leverage at all? Tom shakes his head slowly. You signed that operating agreement. It is airtight. I have looked for loopholes, ambiguous language, anything we could challenge. There is nothing. Gregory had expensive lawyers draft it specifically to trap you. He pauses, then adds quietly, Annabelle, he has you cornered. Either you sign away your career or you fight a legal battle you cannot afford. I am sorry. I leave the diner feeling physically ill, like I might throw up in the parking lot. Instead, I drive home and spend the morning applying to jobs that have nothing to do with marketing. Retail management at a department store, administrative assistant at a dental office, customer service representative at an insurance company. Positions that pay $30,000 to $40,000 annually, less than half what I made at Catalyst Creative. But I need income. I have maybe 3 months of savings left before I lose my apartment. Around noon, my phone buzzes with a message from Sarah on an encrypted app we downloaded months ago when Gregory first started acting paranoid about information leaks. You need to know what is happening here. Gregory fired 3 people this morning who he thinks are loyal to you. Madeline, James, and Tucker. He is purging anyone who might support you. People are terrified. Guilt crushes my chest. Madeline has 2 kids and a mortgage. James just started chemotherapy for lymphoma. Tucker is supporting his elderly parents. They lost their jobs because Gregory suspects they might defend me. I text back, tell everyone to keep their heads down and protect themselves. Do not defend me. It is not worth it. Sarah responds immediately, this is not right. I know, I type, but I cannot help them if I am destroyed too. Please, Sarah, tell them to stay quiet. An hour later, Patricia Downing calls and asks to meet for coffee immediately. She says it is urgent. I agree, desperate for any distraction from the nightmare my life has become. We meet at a coffee shop downtown, away from the business district where someone might recognize us. Patricia slides into the booth across from me, her expression serious. Annabelle. I recorded my call with Gregory yesterday. I blink. You what? Something felt off when he called, so I used my phone's recording app. It is legal in this state as long as one party consents, and I consented to record my own call. She pulls out her phone and sets it on the table between us. Listen to this. She hits play. Gregory's voice comes through the speaker, smooth and confident. He is pitching Patricia on a complete rebranding package for her yoga studios. As I listen, I recognize every word. It is my presentation from 18 months ago, the strategy I developed specifically for Patricia's business. Gregory changed nothing except pronouns, replacing I recommend with my vision includes. He presents my market research, my target demographic analysis, my social media strategy, all as his original ideas. Patricia stops the recording. He stole your work. Yes, I say quietly. This is evidence of fraud, Patricia says. You could use this. Hope flickers in my chest for the first time since yesterday. Patricia, would you be willing to provide a statement about this? Officially? Absolutely, she says without hesitation. I will do whatever you need. He is not only stealing from you, Annabelle, he has been overbilling me for 3 months. I noticed it last week and started reviewing all my invoices. He is charging me for services I never approved. Rush fees for standard work. Consultation hours we never had. It adds up to thousands of dollars. Do you have copies of the invoices? Right here. She pulls a folder from her bag and hands it to me. Originals and highlighted copies showing the fraudulent charges. I take the folder, my hands shaking slightly. This is something. This is actual evidence that Gregory is dishonest and stealing from clients. It is not enough to prove he embezzled from investors, but it proves his character. My phone rings. The hospice facility. My heart drops. I have to take this, I tell Patricia, and answer. Hello? Miss Foster, this is Nurse Williams from Clearview Hospice. I am calling about Julia Brennan. Her condition has declined significantly in the past hour. You should come now, if you want to say goodbye. The coffee shop fades away. I barely register ending the call or standing up. Patricia is asking if I am okay, but her voice sounds far away. I mumble something about an emergency and rush out to my car. I drive to the hospice in a daze, breaking the speed limit, praying I make it in time. When I reach Julia's room, her mother is already there, holding Emma's hand. Emma looks small and scared, her eyes red from crying. Julia is barely conscious. I take her other hand and lean close. Julia, I am here. It is Annabelle. Her eyes flutter open briefly, recognizing me. Her lips move, forming words I cannot hear. I lean closer. Take care of Emma, she whispers. Promise. I promise, I say, tears streaming down my face. I promise. Julia's breathing slows. Over the next 30 minutes, surrounded by the people who loved her, Julia slips away. The room falls silent except for Emma's quiet sobbing. I sit there long after the nurses come and go, numb with grief. I lost my best friend, my business partner, the person who believed in me when no one else did. The unfairness of it all crushes me. Julia should have had decades left. Emma should have had her mother. I stay at the hospice helping Julia's mother with initial arrangements until early evening. When I finally leave, sitting in my car in the parking lot, I check my phone and realize it is 6:30. Gregory's 48-hour deadline passed at 4 o'clock this afternoon. A new message is waiting. Non-compete deadline passed. Lawsuit will be filed Monday morning. You will be served within 72 hours. Should have signed when you had the chance. Gregory. I rest my forehead against the steering wheel. Julia is gone. I am about to be sued for $2 million. My savings will be gone in months. Everything is falling apart, and I cannot stop it. Friday morning arrives with funeral arrangements. Julia's mother, Dorothy, is 73 and overwhelmed. Julia's extended family is either estranged or too far away to help, which means the responsibility falls to me as executor of Julia's estate. She named me 2 years ago, back when neither of us imagined she would die at 42. I spend Friday and Saturday helping Dorothy plan a simple service. Julia wanted cremation, no elaborate funeral. She wrote her wishes down a month ago when she was still coherent enough to think practically. The service is scheduled for Sunday afternoon at a small chapel. Saturday evening, I meet Emma properly for the first time. She is staying with Dorothy temporarily, sleeping in Julia's childhood bedroom. Emma sits on the porch steps while Dorothy makes dinner, and I sit beside her. You are Annabelle, Emma says. It is a statement, not a question. I am. Mom talked about you a lot. She said you built something together. We did, I tell her. We built a company that helped people. Emma looks at me with Julia's eyes, the same deep brown with flecks of gold. Are you going to take care of my mom's company like you promised her? My throat tightens. Julia must have talked about Catalyst Creative with Emma during their final conversations, painting pictures of the future, trying to give her daughter something hopeful to hold on to. Julia did not know Gregory would steal everything. I am going to try my best, I say, because I cannot tell this child the truth. Emma nods and goes inside. I stay on the porch, staring at the darkening sky, feeling like the worst kind of liar. Sunday's funeral service is small, 20 people, mostly Dorothy's friends from church, and a few former colleagues who heard the news. I deliver a eulogy, talking about Julia's creativity, her kindness, her fierce dedication to doing good work. I do not mention Catalyst Creative or what happened afterward. This day is about remembering Julia, not my failures. After the service, I go home and cannot sleep. I sit at my kitchen table until 2 in the morning, reviewing my options on a legal pad. The math is brutal. I have $9,000 left after paying this month's rent and bills. A legal defense will cost $50,000 minimum. Even if I drain my retirement account and max out my credit cards, I cannot afford to fight Gregory. I could sign the non-compete and walk away, but that means finding a new career at 34 years old in a field I know nothing about. I could try to negotiate a settlement, but Gregory has no incentive to negotiate. He already won. Monday morning at 8 o'clock, someone knocks on my apartment door. I answer to find a process server holding a manila envelope. Annabelle Foster? Yes, you have been served. He hands me the envelope and leaves. I sit on my couch and open it. The lawsuit is worse than I expected. Gregory is suing me for $2 million in damages, claiming I stole client lists, proprietary methodologies, and breached my fiduciary duty by disparaging the company to clients. The complaint includes screenshots of text messages between me and Patricia Downing, somehow obtained. He has evidence of our conversation about his overbilling. The lawsuit is public record. By noon, it circulates through local business circles. I know because I start getting emails and LinkedIn messages from people I have not spoken to in years, some expressing sympathy, others asking what really happened, a few clearly fishing for gossip. I receive an email from a company where I applied for an administrative assistant position last week. Thank you for your interest. We have decided to move forward with other candidates. No interview, no phone screening. They looked me up, found the lawsuit, and decided I was not worth the risk. My landlord calls that afternoon. His name is Bruce, a retired contractor who owns 3 rental properties. He has always been reasonable about maintenance requests. Annabelle, I saw something online today. A lawsuit with your name on it. Is that real? I close my eyes. Yes, it is real. But the allegations are false. I did not steal anything. I am not trying to be insensitive, Bruce says carefully. But I need to know if you can still pay rent. I can pay rent, I assure him, though I know I only have 2 more months of savings. My finances are stable. He does not sound convinced. Okay, just keep me informed if anything changes. Tuesday morning, I receive a text from Sarah. Gregory called an all-staff meeting yesterday. He told everyone you are being sued for stealing from the company. He said you betrayed all of us. People are confused and upset. He is controlling the narrative completely. I do not respond. What can I say? Gregory is systematically destroying my reputation, and I have no platform to defend myself. Anyone I contact could be used as evidence of harassment or tortious interference. I spend Tuesday afternoon sitting in my apartment, staring at the wall, trying to figure out what to do next. Apply for more jobs? Hide the lawsuit and hope background checks miss it? Move to another state and start over? Every option feels impossible. Wednesday morning, my phone rings. Unknown number. I almost let it go to voicemail. But something makes me answer. Is this Annabelle Foster? A man's voice, professional and brisk. Yes. Who is this? My name is David Chen. I am a senior partner at Redstone Ventures. We are one of Gregory Marsh's primary investors. I need to speak with you immediately. In person. Today, if possible. I sit up straight. About what? I would prefer to discuss this face to face. Can you meet me downtown at 2 o'clock? Miller's Steakhouse on 5th Street. I check the time. It is 11. I can be there. Thank you, this is important. He ends the call. I sit holding my phone, mind racing. Redstone Ventures is one of the 3 investment firms that funded Gregory's acquisition portfolio. Why would they want to talk to me? Are they trying to gather ammunition for Gregory's lawsuit? Or is something else happening? I arrive at Miller's Steakhouse at 1:50. It is an upscale place, the kind where business deals happen over expensive cuts of meat and wine that cost more per bottle than my monthly car payment. David Chen is already there, sitting at a corner table with 2 other people. He stands when I approach. David is in his 50s, wearing a tailored suit, his handshake firm and professional. Annabelle, thank you for coming. This is Linda Gray and Richard Paulson. We are the 3 primary investors in Gregory Marsh's portfolio of companies. Linda is a sharp-eyed woman in her 40s. Richard is older. maybe 60, with silver hair and an expression that gives nothing away. They shake my hand and gesture for me to sit. We will get straight to the point, David says. We have been reviewing Gregory's businesses, and something is very wrong. Revenues are down across all his properties. Client retention is terrible. Financial reports are not adding up. We think he is cooking the books. My heart starts pounding. What does this have to do with me? Linda leans forward. We heard through industry contacts that Gregory pushed you out of Catalyst Creative rather aggressively. We want to know what happened. We need the truth. I carefully explain the timeline. Julia's cancer, the forced sale, Gregory's systematic takeover, the operating agreement that stripped my equity, my forced exit. I keep my emotions in check and stick to facts. Richard listens intently, taking notes. When I finish, he exchanges glances with David and Linda. We suspected something like this, David says. Gregory has a pattern. He acquires companies, forces out the original leadership, then bleeds the business dry before moving to the next target. We are planning to remove him from all his companies, but we need evidence of wrongdoing. If we move without proof, he will sue us for breach of contract. Hope surges through me. What kind of evidence? Financial records showing embezzlement or fraud. Client complaints. Anything that proves he is defrauding investors or operating dishonestly. I think of Patricia's recordings and invoices. I might have something. Linda nods. We need you to gather everything you can find. Proof of overbilling, stolen work, anything. Can you do that? Yes, I say quickly. When do you need it? David's expression turns grim. We are voting Friday morning on whether to keep Gregory or remove him. That gives you 72 hours. Can you compile evidence by then? I can try. Richard holds up a hand. One more thing. We cannot be associated with you publicly while you are being sued. If Gregory finds out we contacted you, he will claim collusion and sue us for tortious interference. You will have to gather evidence on your own. Without our direct help, we cannot risk being connected to your activities. The hope in my chest turns cold. So I am on my own? For now, David says. But if you bring us solid evidence by Friday morning, we can remove Gregory and potentially void his lawsuit against you. This is your chance to get your company back. I nod slowly, mind racing through the implications. I have 72 hours to investigate the man who is actively destroying me without any help while facing a $2 million lawsuit. If I fail, I lose everything. If I succeed, I might get my life back. I will do it, I say. David hands me a business card. Call me when you have something. And Annabelle, be careful. Gregory is dangerous when cornered. I leave the restaurant feeling terrified and energized at the same time. This is my chance. Maybe my only chance. I cannot waste it. I spend Wednesday evening at my kitchen table mapping out a plan. I need evidence that Gregory is defrauding his investors, proof of financial misconduct that goes beyond client complaints. Patricia's invoices show overbilling, but that is not enough. I need bank records, revenue reports, something that proves systematic theft. Then I remember something. Catalyst Creative uses a shared client portal for project management, a cloud-based system where we uploaded proposals, tracked deliverables, and managed invoices. I set it up 3 years ago, and the admin login was tied to my personal email address, not my company email. Gregory might have forgotten to revoke my access. I open my laptop and navigate to the portal login page. My hands shake as I enter my credentials. For a moment, nothing happens. Then, the screen loads. I am in. I spend 2 hours reviewing files, my disbelief growing with each click. Gregory has been billing clients for work that was never completed. He is using proposals I wrote months ago and marking them as delivered without actually doing the work. Clients paid for services they never received. I screenshot everything, organizing files by client and date. The evidence is damning. Gregory is not just incompetent, he is running a deliberate fraud. Around 11 at night, I get brave and reach out to Patricia again, asking if she would provide an official statement about Gregory's theft and overbilling. She responds immediately. Yes, I will do more than that. He has been overbilling me for 3 months. I have all the invoices. I will write a detailed statement and sign it. We arranged to meet Thursday morning. Thursday at 9, Patricia hands me a folder containing itemized invoices with highlighted fraudulent charges and a 2-page signed statement describing Gregory's theft of my work and his systematic overbilling. Her statement is clear, specific, and credible. Thank you, I tell her. This might make the difference. I hope it destroys him, Patricia says flatly. What he did to you is unconscionable. Thursday afternoon, I contact Marcus Hall, who runs a restaurant group and was one of our biggest clients. I ask careful questions about his experience since I left, avoiding anything that could be construed as soliciting business or disparaging Gregory. Marcus is blunt. Annabelle, the work quality dropped off a cliff. Gregory does not understand our brand or our customers. He is charging me for services I never approved. I am planning to terminate the contract next month. The only reason I stayed this long was out of loyalty to what you built. Would you be willing to provide a written statement about your experience? I ask. Absolutely. Send me a form and I will fill it out today. I draft a simple statement template and email it to him. By Thursday evening, I have Marcus's signed statement describing declining quality and overbilling. I compile everything into a presentation. Screenshots from the client portal, Patricia's invoices and statement, Marcus's statement, and the recording of Gregory stealing my pitch. It is not perfect, but it is substantial. It shows a pattern of dishonesty, theft, and fraud. Thursday night at 10, I back up all the files to a cloud drive and also save copies to a USB drive. I feel cautiously hopeful for the first time in weeks. I have evidence. I have credible witnesses. Tomorrow morning, I will present everything to David, Linda, and Richard. They will vote to remove Gregory, and maybe, just maybe, I can get my company back. I sleep better than I have in days. Friday morning, I wake at 6. The investor meeting is at 10. I spend an hour reviewing my presentation, making sure everything is organized and clear. At 7:30, I shower and dress in my best professional outfit, a navy suit I wore to client pitches back when I still had a career. At 8, I walk out to my car in the apartment parking lot and freeze. Police cars surround the lot. Officers are interviewing residents. My car's driver's side window is shattered, glass covering the ground. The door is unlocked. I run over, heart pounding. The car is empty. My laptop was on the back seat, hidden under a jacket. It is gone. An officer approaches me. Ma'am, is this your vehicle? Yes, my laptop was inside. Someone stole it. The officer takes my statement, but I can tell from his tone he is skeptical. Are you sure you locked the car? There is no sign of forced entry beyond the broken window. Sometimes thieves check for unlocked doors. I locked it, I insist. I always lock it. But even as I say it, doubt creeps in. Did I lock it last night? I was tired, distracted. Maybe I forgot. The officer gives me a case number and tells me to file an insurance claim. I stand in the parking lot after he leaves, staring at my broken car window, and feel panic rising. All my evidence was on that laptop. Yes, I backed files up to the cloud, but not everything. Some of the screenshots, some of my notes, I saved locally and forgot to upload. I lost critical pieces of the case. I call Tom Hendricks, my lawyer, my voice shaking. Tom, someone broke into my car and stole my laptop. All my evidence was on it. There is a pause. Annabelle, that is too coincidental. Do you think Gregory is behind this? I do not know. Maybe. Or maybe I am paranoid and it was just a random theft. Either way, you need to be very careful, Tom says. If Gregory is targeting you, he is escalating. Watch your back. I spend the next hour accessing my cloud backup on my phone, checking what I still have. The client statements are there. Patricia's recording is there. But I lost the screenshots from the client portal, the most damaging evidence of Gregory billing for work never completed. I try logging back into the portal. Access denied. My credentials no longer work. Gregory must have discovered I was in the system and locked me out. At 10:30, I receive an anonymous email from a burner address. Stop digging, or you will regret it. You are being watched. My hands shake as I read it. Someone is threatening me. Someone knows what I am doing. I sit in my apartment, laptop gone, best evidence deleted, anonymous threats arriving, and realize I am in over my head. But the investor meeting is in 90 minutes. I have to try. I gather what evidence I have left, the printed documents Patricia and Marcus provided, and the recording on my phone. It is not as strong as what I had yesterday, but it is something. At 11:45, I receive a text from Sarah's number. I need to see you. Tonight. I have something you need. Meet me at the office parking lot at midnight. Come alone. Do not tell anyone. I stare at the message. After everything that happened with Gregory, after the threats and the stolen laptop, this feels wrong. But Sarah was always loyal. What if she really does have information that could help? I text back. Why midnight? Why the office? No response. I spend the next 10 minutes debating, then decide. I have nothing left to lose. If there is even a chance Sarah has evidence, I have to take it. At 11:50, I drive to the Catalyst Creative parking lot. It is dark and empty, lit only by a few security lights. Sarah's car is parked near the back entrance. I pull in beside it and turn off my engine. The office building's back door opens. Gregory steps out with 2 security guards. My stomach drops. Gregory walks toward my car, holding his phone up, filming. He is smiling. I knew you would come, he calls out. Sarah sent that text from her work phone, but I sent it. You just trespassed on private property and violated the restraining order I filed yesterday afternoon. You are going to jail, Annabelle. The security guards move toward my car. I realized too late that I walked directly into a trap. Gregory set me up, and I fell for it. The security guards reach my car doors. One taps on the window. Ma'am, step out of the vehicle, please. I do not resist. What would be the point? Gregory is filming everything, documenting my presence on property he claims I am banned from. I step out, hands visible, trying to stay calm even though my heart is racing. Gregory approaches, his phone still recording. I have video evidence of you trespassing. This will be submitted to the court. You violated a restraining order. That is a criminal offense. I received a text asking me to come here, I say quietly, from someone I trusted. Prove it, Gregory says with a smirk. Show me the text. I pull out my phone and open my messages. But when I navigate to Sarah's text thread, the message is gone. The entire conversation from tonight has vanished. Somehow Gregory deleted it remotely, or it was never really from Sarah's phone at all. I do not see any text, Gregory says mockingly. Looks like you are making things up. Again, a police cruiser pulls into the parking lot, lights flashing but no siren. An officer steps out. Gregory walks toward him confidently. Officer, thank you for coming. This woman has a restraining order filed against her, and she trespassed on my property. I have video evidence. Gregory holds up his phone. The officer looks at me, then back at Gregory. Sir, I need to see the restraining order. Gregory pulls it up on his phone and shows the officer. The officer examines it for a long moment, then says, Sir, this restraining order was filed yesterday afternoon. Has it been served yet? Gregory hesitates. It will be served on Monday. Then she could not have violated it, the officer says flatly. You cannot violate a restraining order you have not been legally notified of. This is not enforceable yet. Gregory's confident expression cracks. She is trespassing. The officer looks around the parking lot. Is this a public parking lot or private property? It is shared with the building's other tenants, Gregory admits, but she does not work here anymore. Then, it is not clear-cut trespassing. This is a civil matter, not a criminal one. I am not arresting anyone tonight. The officer turns to me. Ma'am, I suggest you leave now and do not come back. I nod quickly, relief flooding through me. Yes, officer, thank you. I get back in my car, hands shaking so badly I can barely get the key in the ignition. Gregory shouts after me as I pull out of the parking lot. "You are finished! You have nothing! New evidence, new career, new future." I drive 2 blocks before pulling over, unable to continue. My hands tremble on the steering wheel. My breath comes in short gasps. I almost got arrested. Gregory set an elaborate trap, used Sarah's identity to lure me, and I walked right into it. I sit there for 10 minutes, trying to calm down. Then I notice something. When the security guard took my bag earlier, he missed the small recording device in my jacket pocket. I bought it last week on impulse, thinking I might need to record conversations for legal protection. I had it running when I arrived at the parking lot. I pull out the device and replay the audio. Gregory's voice is clear. Sarah sent that text from her work phone, but I sent it. He admitted on tape that he impersonated Sarah to lure me into a trap. It is evidence of harassment and entrapment. It is not enough to prove financial fraud, but it proves Gregory's character. It shows he is willing to manipulate, deceive, and entrap. I checked the time. 1 in the morning. The investor meeting is in 9 hours. I have client statements, Patricia's recording, and now this recording of Gregory admitting to entrapment. It is not the smoking gun financial evidence I hoped for, but it is something. I call David Chen and leave a voicemail. "David, it is Annabelle. I have evidence of harassment, entrapment, and client fraud. I lost some of the financial documentation, but I have witness statements and recordings that prove Gregory is dishonest and dangerous. I will bring everything I have to your office at 9 tomorrow morning. I hope it is enough." I drive home, barely able to keep my eyes open. I have 4 hours until I need to wake up and prepare for the meeting. 4 hours to rest before the most important presentation of my life. At 5 in the morning, my phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. "Parking garage, level 3. Now, Sarah." I stare at the message, every instinct screaming that it is another trap, but something about the wording feels different, more urgent and genuine. Against my better judgment, I get dressed and drive to the public parking garage downtown. Level 3 is nearly empty at this hour. Sarah's car is parked in the far corner. I pull up beside it cautiously, ready to drive away if anything feels wrong. Sarah gets out of her car looking terrified. Her eyes are red, like she has been crying. She walks quickly to my passenger window. I roll it down. "I did not send that text last night," she says immediately. "Gregory used my work phone. I found out this morning when I came in early. He logged into the company messaging system with my credentials. I quit. I walked out." She holds out a small USB flash drive. "But before I left, I downloaded everything from the company's server. Every file, every client record, every invoice, everything Gregory has done for the past 6 months. It is all here." I take the drive, stunned. "Sarah, he will come after you for this." "I do not care anymore," Sarah says, her voice shaking. "What he did to you, what he is doing to the clients, it is wrong. Someone has to stop him. Use this. Destroy him." She gets back in her car and drives away before I can respond. I sit holding the flash drive, hardly daring to believe it. This could be everything I need. This could prove Gregory's fraud conclusively. I drive home and plug the flash drive into my desktop computer. Files begin loading. Folders full of invoices, client contracts, financial reports, everything. Then my screen goes black. A message appears in white text. "Files corrupted. Drive contains malware. System shutting down." My computer dies completely. I stare at the blank screen in horror. The flash drive was either accidentally corrupted or intentionally sabotaged. All of Sarah's evidence is gone. My computer is dead. I have 45 minutes until I need to leave for the investor meeting. I have nothing but printed client statements and 2 recordings. It is not enough. I know it is not enough. I sit at my kitchen table, staring at the dead computer, the ruined flash drive, and feel defeat settle over me like a weight. Gregory won. Despite everything, despite all my efforts, he won. I sit in my car in the parking lot of Redstone Ventures at 8:55 in the morning, watching people walk into the building for their normal workdays. They have no idea their lives are about to change. Neither do I. In my bag, I have a folder containing Patricia's signed statement and invoices, Marcus's statement, and my phone with 2 recordings. Gregory stealing my pitch, and Gregory admitting he entrapped me last night. It is not the overwhelming evidence I hope to present. It shows Gregory is unethical and dishonest. But it does not prove he is stealing from his investors. Without financial records, without the screenshots from the client portal, without Sarah's files, I am walking into this meeting incomplete. But I have to try. I have nothing left to lose. I take a breath and walk inside. The receptionist directs me to the 4th floor, Conference Room B. The elevator ride feels endless. When the doors open, I follow signs down a carpeted hallway to a large conference room with glass walls. David Chen, Linda Gray, and Richard Paulson are already inside, sitting at a long table covered with documents. They look up when I enter. "Annabelle," David says, standing. "Did you find evidence?" I set my folder on the table and sit down across from them. I found some evidence. Not as much as I hoped. I had more, but my laptop was stolen, and a flash drive with company files was corrupted. This is what I have left. I walk them through everything. Patricia's statement about overbilling and stolen work, including the invoices showing fraudulent charges. Marcus's statement about declining quality and unapproved billing. The recording of Gregory presenting my strategy word for word as his own idea. And finally, the recording from last night of Gregory admitting he lured me into a trap. Linda listens to the recordings and reviews the documents carefully. When I finish, she looks disappointed. "Annabelle, this shows Gregory is unethical. It shows he steals ideas and harasses people. But it does not prove he is embezzling from us as investors. We need financial evidence, bank statements, proof of money moving to offshore accounts, falsified revenue reports. Without that, we cannot remove him for cause. Client complaints are not sufficient grounds." Richard adds, "We could try to remove him based on performance issues, but Gregory will fight it. He will claim client disputes are normal business friction. He will sue us for breach of contract. Without hard financial evidence, we do not have a strong enough case." David looks at his watch. "The board vote is in 1 hour. If we cannot prove financial misconduct, Gregory keeps control of all the companies." I feel desperation rising. I came so close. I had the evidence, and I lost it. What if the clients testified directly? Patricia and Marcus would both speak on record. David shakes his head gently. "Client disputes are not enough, Annabelle. I am sorry. Gregory will spin this as sour grapes from a fired employee and unhappy customers. We need smoking gun financial data." The conference room door opens. A woman in her 50s walks in, dressed in an elegant charcoal suit, carrying a leather briefcase. She has short auburn hair and sharp green eyes that take in the room with one quick glance. David stands looking shocked. "Helen? What are you doing here?" "Helen Marsh." I recognize the name immediately, Gregory's ex-wife. Helen sets her briefcase on the conference table and opens it with calm precision. "I heard through mutual contacts that you were investigating my ex-husband. I thought you might need this." She pulls out a thick folder of documents and spreads them across the table. Bank statements, emails, spreadsheets. The pages are marked with yellow sticky tabs and handwritten notes. "I divorced Gregory 3 years ago," Helen says, her voice steady and cold. "During our marriage, I discovered he was embezzling from his own companies. I documented everything. Shell companies registered in Delaware and the Cayman Islands, falsified revenue reports submitted to investors, money transfers to offshore accounts in his name, emails between Gregory and his accountant, discussing how to hide losses from board oversight. Linda picks up one of the documents, her face going pale. This shows transfers of over $800,000 to offshore accounts over 2 years. Helen nods. My lawyer advised me not to use this evidence during our divorce. It would have triggered criminal investigations and frozen our assets for years. I just wanted out. I took my settlement and walked away. But I kept copies of everything. Why did you stay silent? Richard asks. Because I wanted to move on with my life, Helen says. I wanted to forget Gregory existed. But last week, I heard through business contacts that he was destroying someone else the same way he tried to destroy me. When I learned it was a woman he pushed out of her own company, I knew I could not stay silent anymore. She looks directly at me. You are Annabelle Foster, correct? I nod, unable to speak. I am sorry for what he put you through, Helen says. I know what it feels like to have someone take everything from you and make you feel powerless. I should have spoken up years ago. I am speaking up now. David examines the documents, flipping through pages of bank statements and emails. This is enough. This proves systematic fraud and embezzlement. With this evidence, we can remove Gregory immediately and file criminal charges. Linda turns to Richard. We need to call an emergency board meeting. Now. Richard pulls out his phone. I will get our attorneys on conference. The next hour becomes a blur of phone calls, document reviews, and legal consultations. David, Linda, and Richard coordinate with their legal team, building a case for Gregory's immediate removal. Helen sits calmly throughout, answering questions about the documents with precise detail. Around 10:30, David ends a call and looks at me. Annabelle, we are moving forward. We are terminating Gregory's management of all portfolio companies effective immediately. We will also be challenging the acquisition of Catalyst Creative. If that operating agreement was signed under duress or based on false pretenses, we can void it and restore your ownership. Can you really do that? I ask, hardly daring to hope. Our lawyers believe so, Linda says. Gregory misrepresented the company's financial health when he acquired Julia's shares. That constitutes fraud in the inducement. The operating agreement you signed is likely voidable. At 11 o'clock, Gregory arrives at the Redstone Ventures office for what he thinks is a routine quarterly review. The receptionist directs him to the main conference room, a larger space than where we have been working. I watch from the doorway as Gregory walks in, confident and smiling. He sees David, Linda, and Richard sitting at one end of a long table with their attorneys. Then he sees Helen. His smile vanishes. Then he sees me. His face goes from confused to furious in seconds. What is this? Gregory demands. David does not waste time with pleasantries. Gregory, we are terminating your management of all portfolio companies effective immediately. We have evidence of embezzlement, investor fraud, and financial misconduct spanning 3 years. Gregory's face turns red. This is ridiculous. You cannot do this based on accusations from a vindictive ex-wife and a disgruntled employee. Richard slides the folder of documents across the table. These are not accusations. These are bank records, emails, and financial statements proving you stole from us. Gregory's attorney, a nervous-looking man in his 30s who came with him, picks up the folder and starts reviewing. His face goes pale as he flips through pages. He leans close to Gregory and whispers urgently. Gregory ignores him. He slams his hand on the table. You cannot do this. I have contracts. I have rights. Linda's voice is ice. Read your investor agreement, Section 7, Paragraph 3. We have the right to remove you for cause. Fraud and embezzlement constitute cause. David continues. We are also rescinding the acquisition of Catalyst Creative. The operating agreement Annabelle Foster signed will be voided due to fraudulent inducement. Ownership reverts to her, effective immediately. You cannot do this, Gregory shouts, standing up. I own that company. David remains calm. You own nothing. Security will escort you out. You have 1 hour to remove personal belongings from all company properties. After that, your access is terminated. Gregory looks around the room wildly, searching for an ally. He finds none. His attorney is quietly packing his briefcase, clearly distancing himself from a client who just became a massive liability. "This is illegal," Gregory yells. "I will sue all of you. I will destroy this firm." Richard presses a button on the conference table. 2 security guards enter the room. "Mr. Marsh, please come with us." Gregory tries to argue, then threaten, then plead. Nothing works. The security guards escort him out, his voice echoing down the hallway as he shouts obscenities and legal threats. After he is gone, the room falls silent. I sit down slowly, trying to process what just happened. It feels surreal, like I might wake up and discover this was a dream. Helen walks over and sits beside me. "Are you all right?" "I do not know," I admit, my voice shaking. "I thought I lost everything." Helen smiles sadly. "You did not lose yourself. That is what matters. I lost myself for years, trying to please Gregory, trying to be what he wanted. When I finally left, I had nothing but my name and my integrity. It was enough. It had to be enough." She pauses. "You held on to yourself through all of this. That takes strength most people do not have." David approaches with paperwork. "Annabelle, we need you to sign some documents to restore your ownership of Catalyst Creative. Our attorneys are drafting the official transfer now. It should be ready by this afternoon." "What about Gregory's lawsuit against me?" I ask. "We are filing a motion to dismiss based on malicious prosecution," Linda says. "With the evidence of Gregory's fraud, no judge will allow that lawsuit to proceed. It will be thrown out. Over the next 2 weeks, my life transforms. I return to Catalyst Creative as owner and CEO. The staff throws an impromptu celebration when I walk through the door the first morning back. Sarah is there, crying and hugging me. She was rehired immediately with back pay and a raise. Madeline, James, and Tucker, the 3 employees Gregory fired for being loyal to me, are all rehired with back pay and formal apologies. I meet with each of them individually to thank them for their loyalty. I hold a company-wide meeting in the conference room, where Gregory interrupted my goodbye speech 2 weeks ago. Everyone crowds in, sitting on desks and standing along the walls. "We went through something terrible," I tell them. "We watched someone try to destroy what we built together through dishonesty and greed. But we survived because we stayed true to what this company has always been about: integrity, quality, and loyalty to each other. We are going to rebuild, and we are going to do it the right way. No shortcuts, no lies, no stealing credit. We succeed together or not at all." The room erupts in applause. Patricia Downing returns as a client, bringing 3 referrals from other yoga studio owners who heard about what happened and want to work with someone they can trust. Marcus Hall returns with his restaurant group and signs a 2-year contract. Within a month, we sign 4 new clients who specifically cite our integrity and honesty as reasons for choosing us. I visit Julia's grave on a quiet Tuesday afternoon. The headstone is simple granite with her name and dates. I sit on the grass beside it and talk to her like she is still here. "Jules, I saved the company. I wish you were here to see it. I wish you could see Emma growing up. I wish a lot of things. I wipe my eyes. I set up a college fund for her. The first profitable quarter we had after I came back, I put 20% of the profit into an education fund in Emma's name." Dorothy cried when I told her. "Emma will be able to go to any school she wants." I sit there for a long time, watching clouds move across the sky, feeling Julia's presence in the wind. Helen Marsh becomes an unexpected friend. We meet for coffee once a month at a quiet cafe near her house. She tells me stories about rebuilding her life after leaving Gregory, the therapy she did, the lessons she learned about recognizing manipulation and trusting her instincts. "You are stronger than I was," Helen tells me over coffee one Saturday morning. "When Gregory came after me, I folded. I took my settlement and hid. You fought back. I did not have a choice, I say. He took everything. I had nothing left to lose. That is when we are most dangerous, Helen says with a slight smile. When we have nothing left to lose. Gregory faces criminal charges for embezzlement and wire fraud. The story makes local business news, then gets picked up by a national outlet. His face is all over the internet, accompanied by headlines about corporate fraud and investor deception. His other companies are sold off or dissolved. His reputation is destroyed. I do not feel satisfaction watching his downfall. Mostly I feel tired. Revenge does not heal wounds. It just closes chapters. 6 months after everything happened, I am asked to speak at a local business association meeting about ethics and resilience in entrepreneurship. I almost decline, but Sarah convinces me to accept. I stand in front of 200 business owners and entrepreneurs and tell them the truth. I talk about losing everything, about the temptation to give up, about the importance of documentation and legal protection. I talk about the people who helped me when I had nothing. Patricia and Marcus, who risked their business relationships to tell the truth. Sarah, who sacrificed her job to gather evidence. Helen, who broke her silence to stop Gregory from hurting someone else. You can have everything that defines you on paper taken away, I tell them. Your title, your company, your income, your reputation. But if you hold on to your integrity, if you hold on to the truth, that cannot be taken. It might take time. It might require help from people you never expected. But integrity has weight. It has gravity. Eventually, it pulls everything else toward it. The audience gives me a standing ovation. Late one evening, a few days after the speech, I sit in my office alone. The building is quiet. Everyone gone home for the day. I look at the framed photo of Julia and me at our grand opening, both of us smiling and hopeful. My computer chimes with a new email. It is from someone I do not know, a woman named Rachel Torres. Dear Annabelle, I read about what happened to you in the news. I am going through something similar right now with my business partner. He is pushing me out of the company I founded, and I do not know if I can fight back. I feel powerless. How did you do it? How did you keep going when everything looked hopeless? I read the email twice, then start typing a response. Rachel, you fight by refusing to disappear. You fight by documenting everything, by building a record of the truth even when it feels pointless. You fight by finding people who believe you, even if it is just one person at first. You fight by trusting that integrity is not a weakness, even though our world often treats it like one. And you fight by remembering that the people who try to erase you are only proving they were never as good as you to begin with. They cannot compete with your talent or your character, so they try to destroy you instead. Do not let them. Keep going. I promise it is worth it. If you need help, call me. I include my office number. I hit send and close my laptop. Outside my office window, the sun is setting over the city. The sky is orange and pink, beautiful in that temporary way sunsets always are. I hear voices down the hall. My team is still here after all, working late on a project deadline. Someone laughs. Music plays softly from someone's desk speaker. I learned something through all of this. You can lose everything that seems important and discover what actually matters. I lost my company, my income, my reputation, my sense of safety. But I never lost myself. I never became someone who lies or steals or destroys others to get ahead. When everything else was stripped away, that was what remained, and that was enough. I pick up my bag and walk out of my office toward the voices. Sarah is at her desk, working on a presentation. James and Madeline are in the conference room, debating design layouts. Tucker is making coffee in the break room, singing along badly to whatever song is playing on his phone. Anyone want to order pizza? I call out. My treat. We are working late. Might as well eat. They all agree enthusiastically. We order 4 large pizzas and sit around the conference table, talking and laughing while we work. This is what I fought for. Not the company name or the office space or the client list. This. People working together with honesty and respect. A place where integrity matters more than profit. A team that has each other's backs. At 9 o'clock, we finally call it a night. Everyone packs up and heads home. I am the last one to leave, turning off lights and locking doors. I stand in the parking lot for a moment, looking up at the building with our company name lit above the entrance. Catalyst Creative. Julia and I chose that name because we wanted to be a catalyst for positive change in our clients' businesses. We were the catalyst. We still are. I get in my car and drive home. Windows down, cool night air rushing in. My phone sits in the cup holder, silent. No threats, no lawsuits, no anonymous warnings. Just peace. Tomorrow will bring new challenges, new clients, new problems to solve. But tonight, I am enough. The company is enough. The truth was enough. And that after everything is the only victory that matters. Before I finish, I want to ask you something. Have you ever faced a situation where someone tried to take credit for your work or push you out of something you built? How did you handle it? I would love to hear your stories in the comments below. If this story resonated with you, if it reminded you that integrity and truth still matter, even when the world makes it hard to believe that, please hit the like button. Subscribe to hear more stories about real people facing real challenges and finding their way through. And share this with someone who might need to hear that they are not alone in their fight. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it reminded you that you are stronger than you think, that the truth has weight, and that holding on to yourself is the most important thing you can do when everything else is falling apart. Keep standing. Keep fighting. Keep being honest. The world needs more people like you.